So today's video is going to be a little different than normal. We're not doing a deck upgrade or even a deck tech. We are talking about commander decks, but we are also not talking about the financial value of decks. In a roundabout way. We actually are talking about people who have been scammed out of hundreds of dollars when it comes to commander product, and just how terrifying that actually can be. Here, let me go ahead and show you what has happened. Recently, this picture was sent to me by one of my viewers, and as you can see, it's not in a language that I speak. This is not from my Amazon page. This is showing all 4 Duskmourn Commander decks on sale for the price of $182. Now, I want to go ahead and say, first of all, $182 is far too much for these decks. Yes, they are some of the best designed Commander decks that we've had so far, but there are other vendors that can sell these for far cheaper if you happen to be privileged enough to live in the United States. If not, then I understand this being kind of a difficult thing in general. But if you are buying cards on Amazon, there is a giant risk associated with them right now. And actually, this risk has existed for like the last 2 years. I don't know why this has been the case for a while now, but as of right now, if you try to purchase any of these decks off of Amazon, there is a high chance that you're going to get this. This is what you're going to see. You're going to get one of these decks. Now, note, this is not the only place this happens. Walmart.com has been doing something similar where they'll show a picture of all 4 decks and then a price of like $100, and it looks like a steal. And then you look at the actual post and it says, oh, you'll get one of the 4 decks, which is far less of a steal. That's just a fucking scam. There's no way around it. That is a bait and switch, something that can be it can be fought as illegal in the United States, especially when you look at the Amazon listings for this one. So if you follow me to the Amazon page, you can see that it says Magic the Gathering Duskmourn House of Horror Commander Deck Bundle. Includes all 4 decks, with a price of $154 for me right now. And you can even get $80 off instantly if you use a Prime Store card. Wow, what a steal. $80 for all four Duskmourn Commander decks? That's insane. But when you scroll down a little bit, you'll notice something kind of weird. If you get to the review section, there's 4% of them with a 5-star rating, and 94% of people who bought this are giving it a 1-star rating. Now, why would that be? Why would we only have a 1-star rating on most of these? Well, if we look at the reviews for almost all of these, we can see something rather disheartening. Customers have negative opinions about the game. They mentioned it's missing decks, not worth the money, and delivered incompletely. Customers also say the product description is misleading and the weight is disappointing. Opinions are mixed in playability. That's an AI-generated version of the review. Let's look at what people are actually saying. This person managed to get a Zimone deck. Just a Zimone deck. I ordered the bundle for Duskmourn and only received the Jump Scare deck. And it seems Wizards of the Coast sent me the wrong product deliberately. Either they are forcing refunds to buy the decks at current price, which is much higher than the pre-order price. This is the second time Wizards of the Coast forced me to have a refund for a Commander product I waited and ordered for a long time. So this is the weird part. If you look at the distributor for these decks, it is from the Magic the Gathering store. You would think that this would be Wizards of the Coast store, but anybody who's pre-ordered these decks, if they pre-order at, say, $120, $130, which is fairly normal, people who are getting these decks now are getting them not at their pre-order prices, but they're only getting one deck, which really does feel, if I put my tinfoil hat on, that really does feel like a way to try to get people to send the deck back and then order the decks again at full price. Why the balls would you do that? And if this was just one person, one viewer of mine who sent me this, then I might not think too terribly much of it. Yes, one person having a bad financial experience is horrible, but that's up to Wizards of the Coast to fix. But when you look at these reviews, it is consistent. Sold 4-pack bundle of pre-constructed decks, sent out 1/4 of the product. Only one of the decks was sent. These MSRP for approximately $35 each. They don't MSRP at all, unfortunately. Wizards is really bad about that. Supposed to have sent a sealed cardboard box from the manufacturer that contained all 4 decks. The whole purpose of pre-ordering was to lock in the manufacturer's price and get it on launch. The price has gone up and the orders won't be delivered for another week or so it doesn't appear to be an isolated incident. Order from somewhere else. As soon as I saw the photo and the delivery notification, I knew that I was one of the myriad customers who only received one of the 4 decks ordered. Box was too small, the shipping label shows that it's clearly not heavy enough, picking up the box immediately shows there was only 1 deck inside. I could feel that there was only one thing moving around as I tilted the box. Missing 3 out of 4, another 1 star, another 1 star from a Derek, another 1 star from a Brandon, another 1 star from a Tyler. Every single one of these are pointing out that they pre-ordered these decks and then their prices did not end up matching what they spent because they've had to send these decks back in to get the proper product and they aren't getting full refunds. That's the other thing. Let me go ahead and explain what happened to the user who reached out to me specifically. From their own words, there's a handful of people that ordered the Simic deck and received the Rakdos one, and vice versa. Apparently, there's a specific shipping issue with those cards. When this user asked Amazon to send them back the rest of the decks since, well, they paid for them, the refund process began. Problem is, if you are not in the United States, sometimes you have to pay that shipping again. Sending the parcel back to the Amazon store costs $40 for this particular person, and they only want to reimburse $25 of the shipping costs. And then the reimbursement amount total was even less than what was actually spent on all of the decks. Not only are people having to spend more money to get all 4 of the decks that they want to play, but they're having to spend more money in correcting a mistake that Wizards of the Coast and Amazon are making. This is a huge issue because this is a problem that is being shown not only on Wizards' side, but on Amazon's side. There's multiple areas where this should have been checked and solved, but it wasn't. And when I said that this has been a problem that's been happening for a while, let me go ahead and show you the Lord of the Rings bundle. Here's something that even happened to me, and this wasn't even a pre-order thing. I ordered the Lord of the Rings bundle myself, and I never got the decks. I ended up needing to get a reimbursement. I spent like $130 for all 4 decks, and then the price increased on it randomly, and then suddenly the decks couldn't be sent out to me for one reason or another. And this was, like I said, this wasn't even a pre-order thing. I got my original 4 decks on release day at the Too Many Games convention in Philadelphia. I just wanted more copies of some of the cards when me and my girlfriend were sick with COVID ages ago. So when you look at the reviews here, if we go to the 1 stars, which it's a 50-50 between the 1 and 4 star reviews, there's no world in which that should be happening. Looking at the 1 star reviews, we have only received 1 of the decks, only received 1 of the decks. Only got 1 of the decks, received 1, forced to return, back in stock, told to order it again, but now the price is up 20%. Ordered the Commander set, only 1 arrived. Good product if bought elsewhere. Only received 1 deck in a huge box. Why is this still happening? This is a consistent problem that seems to keep happening with Commander product on Amazon to people. And it shouldn't, not just because they shouldn't have to deal with this problem in the first place, but this is a problem that has been reported over the last 2 years, constantly. Tolarian Community College has reported on this as well, talking about damaged product coming from the Amazon store. And now I'm talking about it here, talking about customers who do not get their product when they order it and are forced to play some weird fucking game in order to get their stuff at a higher price than what they actually paid for the product. This is insane. There's no world in which this should be acceptable. If a product is coming out and it has a price, once you have bought that product, that price should be honored, irrespective of product fluctuations. Instead, because there are some kinds of guarantees on product price for locking these things in, what Wizards and what Amazon seem to be doing is accepting that they can't play this game fair. Instead, they are operating in a way that makes people pay this extra money because they are inconvenienced by something. And let's say that you are trying to do a pre-con tournament with friends, or you're trying to go to an event, or anything that you happen to need these cards for. Now these cards might be very time sensitive. Now you might actually need these in an amount of time that's way quicker than what playing this stupid game of leapfrog with your money is gonna take. This isn't fair to customers. This isn't fair to people who like playing Magic the Gathering. And when you have a product that, let me reiterate, is as good as the Duskmourn precons. These are some of the best precons we've ever had in terms of mana-based production, in terms of variability of what the commander can do, and in terms of what these games look like when you put all 4 commander decks in a pod. These are some of the best products we've ever had. So why do people constantly get screwed when looking at these products? Why is that okay? This shouldn't be okay from Wizards of the Coast. This shouldn't be okay from Amazon. And we as customers should not be okay accepting that this is normal. And again, this is normal now, because all of these reviews are from July of 2023, a year and a half ago. This is a problem that has existed for almost 2 years now and hasn't been solved. Why has this problem not been solved by Wizards of the Coast? Why has this problem not been solved by Amazon? There is no world in which this should be an issue. I'm not sponsored by any particular channel or any particular card vendor or anything. I know people have asked me about getting a TCG player sponsorship, and I just don't have the size to warrant anything like that. However, if I were to recommend one vendor right now, if you were to try to get these cards, I would instead go to a place like Stomping Grounds. They routinely sell their cards for a much, much lower price. Here, they're selling the Duskmourn House of Horrors Commander Deck Bundle for $130. It's in stock. You can get multiples of these right now. At $130, this is still $10 steeper than I would want to pay, but this does mean that each deck ends up being $45. So you don't have to pay stupid markups on Valgavoth, who places are selling him for $85 now for some stupid reason. I'm not trying to plug this store because they give me any kickback or any kind of money. They don't. But they are a store who I've ordered from in the past who haven't had the same problems that Amazon seems to be having right now. But again, this only really works if you are in an area that they are able to ship to. And they are not able to ship to everybody. And as shown by one of my viewers, if you are in an area where somebody like Amazon is one of the few places that can ship to you, they just screw you on shipping costs. They just screw you 12 ways from Sunday. And that's not fair to anybody. Do me a favor. If you are a viewer of this channel, please go to the contact forums for Wizards of the Coast, go to their Twitter, go wherever you can contact the people who actually work at WotC. Show them these Amazon reviews. Show them that something is wrong. And do the same with Amazon. Don't just do a 1-star review. They're going to ignore that stuff. Actively complain to customer support over and over and over until this problem can get solved. I'm a firm believer that voting with your dollars does not work, because there's simply more dollars than there are yous who have your problem. But oftentimes, getting the people who are responsible for these things to sit down and have a conversation with you, even haggling them if possible, does actually do something. Never threaten anybody. Never hold somebody to the fire in a way that would be deemed incredibly rude. But definitely hold them accountable for fucking over their customers. This isn't fair to us, this isn't fair to anybody, and nobody should have to deal with this. I don't know if the buck stops at Amazon here, or if the buck stops at Wizards of the Coast. But there is a way to find out, and it is holding both accountable at the same time. Because with enough checks and balances, either Amazon is going to have to reach out to WotC, or WotC is going to have to reach out to Amazon and get the problem fixed for future releases. We cannot continue playing in a game environment where our money is basically rolled around in mud like this. That's not fair to us. and it's not fair to anybody. I'm gonna have a couple links in the description where you can contact Amazon directly and where you can contact Wizards of the Coast. It should be noted, Wizards of the Coast does say that if you got something via an Amazon order, wow, this website is designed very poorly. If you got something via an Amazon order, then you need to be talking to Amazon directly. But they are the vendor on the Amazon marketplace, so I still believe you should be contacting them both. So I'll have the support page in the description, and I will have Amazon's contact page in the description, and a link to the Magic the Gathering Twitter account where you can send them messages as well. Hopefully, in one of these avenues, we can get this problem solved as a community. That all said, that's all I wanted to say for this video. Different than my usual uploads, but it's a PSA that needed to be done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Please contact Wizards of the Coast. Please contact Amazon directly. As always, insert end of video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fire Shard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.